It seems like you've provided 3 different methods for adding designs and customization to fabric, likely for a DIY project like decorating a tote bag or other fabric item. Here is an explanation of each of those techniques. Hand-painted designs. Method. This is a freehand approach where you personally draw or paint directly onto the fabric. Materials. You use specialized fabric paints or permanent fabric markers to ensure the design lasts through washing and wear. Customization. You can create anything from detailed freehand designs and quotes to broad abstract art. Tips. Tools. Tape. Use painter's tape or masking tape to mark off areas and create crisp, clean lines for geometric patterns, a technique often called masking. Stencils. Use stencils to help you create specific shapes consistently or to trace outlines before painting. Stenciling and block printing. Method. These are repeatable techniques used to apply the same design multiple times across the fabric, often to create a pattern. Stenciling. Process. Place a stencil, a sheet with a design cut out, on the fabric. Apply fabric paint over it, using a brush or sponge, and remove the stencil, leaving the design behind. Stencils can be pre-made, bought from a craft store, or cut yourself from plastic sheeting or cardstock. Block printing. Process. You create a custom stamp by carving a design into a material. You apply fabric ink or paint to the raised surfaces of the stamp and press it firmly onto the fabric. Stamps can be made from materials like foam, rubber, or even potatoes for a temporary simple option. This gives a unique, repeated pattern with a handmade texture. Iron-on transfers, Arch vinyl. Method. These involve using heat to adhere a pre-made design, either printed or cut, onto the fabric surface. Iron-on transfers, paper. Process. Print a design, image, logo, or text onto special iron-on transfer paper using a standard home printer. You then place the paper face down on the fabric and use a regular iron to transfer the ink or design from the paper to the bag. Heat transfer vinyl, HTV. Process. Designs are cut out of heat transfer vinyl, a thin plastic-like material with a heat-activated adhesive on the back. This is usually done with a dedicated cutting machine, like a Cricut or Silhouette. Application. The vinyl design is positioned on the fabric, and a heat press or iron is used to apply heat and pressure, melting the adhesive and bonding the vinyl permanently. Here is an explanation of each technique. Embroidery or punch needle. Goal: to add a textured design using thread. Embroidery involves stitching simple designs, like initials or small pictures, or more complex patterns onto the fabric with a needle and colorful thread. This technique gives a fine, detailed, and handcrafted feel. Punch needle. A specific type of needlework where a special hollow needle punches loops of yarn or thick thread through the fabric, creating a soft, dense, and three-dimensional texture, often used for a more modern or tactile look. 2. Tie-dye or dip-dye. Goal: to create vibrant, colorful, and unique patterns using fabric dyes. Tie-dyeing. Process. The fabric is folded, crumpled, or twisted and then secured, tied, with rubber bands or string before being submerged in the dye. Effect. The ties resist the dye, resulting in bold, unique, and often psychedelic or swirling patterns where the original fabric color shows through. Dip dyeing. Process. The fabric is gradually and partially lowered, submerged, into the dye bath. Effect. Creates a smooth gradient. Ombre effect, with the color being darkest where it was submerged the longest and fading out towards the top. 3. Applique and patches. Goal: to add graphic, decorative elements or personal statements using pieces of fabric. Patches involves attaching pre-made, finished patches, e.g., embroidered badges, woven insignias, that can represent hobbies, travel, pop culture interests, fandoms, or fun graphics. They are usually secured by sewing them on or ironing them on with a heat-activated adhesive. Applique.
Sewn embellishments, what it is, the process of physically stitching various decorative items onto the fabric. Purpose, to introduce texture, dimension, and intricate detail. Examples of items used: beads, sequins, for sparkle, buttons, for varying size and shape, lace, for a delicate or vintage feel, pom-pom trim, or fringe, for movement and a playful look. Placement, typically along the seams, to highlight the bag's structure, or the base of the bag, to create a border or foundation design. Fabric, markers for detailed illustration. What it is: drawing or writing directly onto the fabric using specialized fine tip markers designed to be permanent on cloth. Purpose, to create highly precise, crisp, and detailed artwork that mimics a hand-drawn or printed look. Applications, intricate line drawings, like mandalas or detailed patterns. Calligraphy, elegant or stylized writing, or comic book-style illustrations, bold lines, panels, etc. Effect, gives the canvas a hand-drawn look that is clean and sharp, unlike painting which can sometimes bleed or appear softer. In summary, the first method focuses on 3D texture and materials, while the second focuses on 2D, high-detail, graphic artwork. Both are suggested ways to personalize or enhance the appearance of a canvas bag.